With that being said, let's go right back to the introductions and the pitches. And I would like to invite Matt Jürgen on stage. So Matt, welcome to you. Matt is the Director of Business Innovation at the Novo Nordisk Garage. And Matt, thank you very much for introducing and welcome to your first batch at Startup Creasphere. And excited to hear about what you will be working on in the next couple of months.
Perfect. No, thanks so much. And it's really great to be a part of the program. We're really excited to see where things go from here, and all the nice startup pitches that we got earlier today. So we do have some light slides. Hopefully won't overwhelm everyone. But yes, so we come from Novo Nordisk. Novo Nordisk is a pharma company like everyone else here today. But we've been around for some time. We operate in many markets. But as a company, we work with chronic conditions, chronic disease, everything from rare diseases like hemophilia and growth disorder, and then getting up to diabetes and obesity, which are these, of course, really pervasive conditions that are really complex to manage. And as a company, we've been making tons of progress for many years, managing them through a pharmaceutical product. But in recent years, we're starting to explore a little bit more about the role that digital has in the patient funnel and the disease management side of things. So from our side in the Innovation Garage, we're a part of the broader digital effort in the company, and we really focus on the emerging side of things. So we work together with Plug and Play and the Creasphere program on open innovation and startups. We also have internal teams looking at some grand challenges and moonshots, as well as some strategy developments. But we're really excited to be a part of the session today. And we have two big challenges, one from the obesity side, and then one from the diabetes side. So really the core of our business, and we're looking forward to kind of see how things develop throughout the batch. I won't read these through word for word, but on a really high level, when we look at obesity, we're looking to find scalable solutions that can help identify, support, and connect patients with obesity. And there we're really excited to see the pitch and also start working with Creasphere. Hopefully I said the name right. It's a funny one. And then on the diabetes side, this is also a really exciting challenge that we have. So when we talk about diabetes, it's a complex disease. It also comes with a lot of comorbidities and risk for developing other conditions. And we're looking for ways to explore helping patients understand the risk level for cardiovascular diseases. And there we have a lot of creative thoughts, and we're excited to see kind of how things develop with two of the startups that we've selected for this batch, Cardiolize and Lifelight.
Thank you, Matt, for sharing. And these are two very important topics, and they will be in these times even getting more important. So looking forward to the next couple of months for your business units and the startups working together. With this being said, I'll hand it right back to my colleague Max Scholz to present the startups. And yeah, good luck for the pitches. Thank you.
Thank you, Frederica, again for the very kind introduction. Also, thank you, Matt, for your trust in us, for working together with us. We're truly grateful to have such a strong player like Novo Nordisk on board. And of course, we are very excited to explore also those high potential topics during the program with the great startup players that we have. So with that being said, we will kickstart things with our first Novo Nordisk batch startup called Cardiolize. Cardiolize offers a very strong predictive analytics cardiac platform and actually can detect and foresee dangerous heart events up to 2 months before they're actually happening. So truly a life-changing technology. And I would like to welcome Anna to the stage, the CEO of the company from Finland. And of course, our question is also how this could help diabetes patients risk stratify themselves and see their own risk exposure to potential cardiac events. So Anna, please lead us away with a great pitch and looking forward to next following 3 months. Can you hear us, Anna?
Yeah, I hear you very
Perfect.
well. Do you hear me?
Yes, of course. And also the slides are already shared, so you can kickstart things.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm super excited to participate in the program with Novo Nordisk. So I am Anna, CEO at Cardiolife. We're based in Helsinki. We market CE-certified predictive cardiac platform and applications for pharma and healthcare providers to manage CVD comorbidities for patients with diabetes. Diabetes cardiovascular complications is the main cause in 50% of all deaths type 2 diabetes patients. And on the level of patient maintenance cost per person yearly with diabetes and cardiovascular comorbidities is 3 times higher than with no CVD comorbidities. A global cost for treating diabetes with comorbidities worldwide is projected to be 800 billion in 20 years, so the market is quite substantial. With the COVID, it is time to use a remote patient monitoring platform to provide care for risk group patients with a diabetes and CVD in their own home, and Cardiolife is the answer on this challenge. We have developed, validated, patented, and certified our remote patient monitoring device agnostic platform, providing predictive analytics tool to identify high-risk patients and to provide holistic support to CVD patients after discharge from hospitals. We follow patients' pathway. We monitor effectiveness of therapeutic measures, lifestyle changes that is very important for people with diabetes. So we follow the latest guidelines of European Society of Cardiology, and the platform is easy, integrable, and device agnostic. So how it works? Cardiolife platform integrates with the hospital system and provides via API analytical engine for automatic REST ECG and Holter data machine learning analytics, providing prediction of up to 2 months of dangerous heart events that makes the events preventable. Clinicians are equipped with a web dashboard for patient risk stratification. It allows doctors and nurses to redefine their workloads and focus on the most critical cases. The patients are equipped with a discharge package of applications and ECG devices, enabling monitoring at home at any time to prevent readmission and unnecessary visits of doctor's home. Clinicians could monitor effectiveness of treatment, dose response, where the rehabilitation plan works by monitoring subtitle myocardium changes along with the stress, emotional recovery, and fatigue. That is also very important to monitor for people with the diabetes. Highly accurate personalized analytics of abnormalities is enabled by our patented universal ECG scoring system. It provides the very accurate calculation of personalized ECG interpretation and prognosis, as I told, up to 2 months dangerous heart events. The scoring system was patented in the US last year. We're focusing on 2 customers groups. The first one is healthcare providers. We help to bring care outside of NHS hospitals. It's our main target this year with remote monitoring of heart failure, discharge and chronic patients, as well as atrial fibrillation, ablation, discharge, remote monitoring patients. So we're happy to provide commercial services for clinical trials, remote monitoring for pharma company by analysis of dynamic of subtitle myocardium changes as a dose response, the effectiveness of treatment and therapeutic measures, and rehabilitation activity plan. Our business model is quite simple. It's a platform as a service for pharma and software as a service and platform as a service for hospitals with applications for doctors and patients, easy API integration, and any device to be integrated, starting from ECG devices and coming to blood pressure, to measure glucose, SpO2, etc. The devices that need to be used for different goals. So we have quite substantial market validation. We serve pharma and hospitals in the UK, Italy, Germany, Finland, and generate revenue addressing post-discharge and chronic patients and clinical trials cases. Cardialyze experienced team consisting of experts with outstanding medical, financial, software development, and marketing background. And we are excited to join Novo Nordisk challenge to work together on the CVD risk reduction for patients with diabetes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Anna. Great pitch, and always a pleasure to hear the underlying vision, especially with regard to such a serious topic, and also helping patients, empower them to lead normal lives while being also conscious about any future health events with regard to their cardiac health. So thank you for that, Anna. And of course, later on, I welcome you to also use the networking and mingling sessions.
Thank you very much.
Of course, Anna, of course. So next up, we have another very, very exciting startup called Lifelight, directly from the UK. And they have a very great vision and also mission to empower patients to monitor their own health from their face to the palm of the hand. So what does that mean? They have a digital application that enables users to basically screen their face and see the vital parameters just from that in a matter of 40 seconds. So before I disclose too much here, I want to hand it over now to Lifelight themselves, because I think you guys have a great technology in place. I definitely see the high impact also for the patients' lives, and I'm very curious to hear more about it.
Thank you so much, and thank you for bringing us onto this exciting program, and especially to Novo Nordisk and the opportunities to collaborate. And thanks to Anna, that was a really good, exciting presentation. I feel like we're in good company. So Lifelight is a technology that we've developed to address the challenges of scaling personal health monitoring. And my background is many years working, over 25 years in digital healthcare, healthcare technologies, and also research and development around computer vision, emotion detection, wearables. And the big challenge for personal monitoring has always been hardware, the kit. And whether you go down the wearables route, or you go down the connected devices such as Bluetooth blood pressure cuffs, Bluetooth oxygen sats meters, it's equipment that limits scale. And for example, wearables, less than 10% of over 55s are wearing wearables. And in this new age of COVID, which has really accelerated the need for personal monitoring, this age group is the most kind of at risk of COVID, and of course other long-term chronic diseases, which are all critical to our kind of future ability as society to manage health. There's also the cost factor. So in developing countries, the cost of buying and supplying watches, Fitbits, Apple Watches is prohibitive for large scale countries such as India, where you have 600 million people have smartphones, but have limited access to healthcare. And the other friction around existing hardware is it's got to be so easy to use that it's almost invisible. And that's really our kind of mission, is to make self-monitoring almost invisible. For user experience design, we target, could a 90-year-old senior living alone be able to operate this software? And we run usability studies and tests to try to achieve that. When you go back to wearables, they need recharging, pairing with Bluetooth, updating. And then if you have devices like BP cuffs, they have different cuff sizes for different patients. They need to be calibrated, cleaned. There's all of these kind of issues which make the hardware a kind of key friction point. So our solution is a computer vision algorithm which allows us to use the camera built into an existing a patient's existing smartphone or tablet device. And by using software only, we're able to measure their heart rate, their breathing rate, blood pressure, oxygen saturations. And we're working on atrial fibrillation, heart rate variability, and potentially blood glucose. So what this means is we have a software algorithm that's able to give a validated, medically accurate set of vital signs measures purely by software. So it's globally scalable, it's contactless, easy to use, suitable for everybody, and fully connected using HL7 FHIR data interconnectivity standards. But behind all of this is the need for data. So we've been working on this since 2014. And like lots of startups, we have that optimism thinking, yeah, we'll build this, we'll get it working, and everyone can use it. Great. So we started at the easy end, really, with a 1,000 participant trial using healthy individuals. And every clinician we showed this to said, well, that looks fantastic, but does it work with sick people? And we hadn't tested it with sick people. So the algorithms had never come across somebody with severe hypertension or a hypoxic from an oxygen saturation point of view, or someone with tachycardia with a high heart rate. And so we raised some grant funding in the UK to run an 8,500 patient study in a hospital in an acute environment. And we collected 8,500 patients' recordings. When I say recordings, what we do is record raw, high quality video for 60 seconds from a reference iPad camera. And at the same time, 2 research nurses will take concurrent standard of care vital signs measurements. So they'll be using hospital calibrated equipment to measure the patient's blood pressure, pulse, respiration, SATs, and so on. And so we have a concurrent ground truth recorded in our artificial intelligence, our kind of machine learning data sets. So that allows that's like a gift that keeps on giving, because our algorithms are able to continuously retrain and refine by going back over those recordings and knowing the ground truth. What were the target accuracies that we needed to, what were the numbers that it should be achieving? And in addition to that, we ran a validation study with healthy participants in an independent lab for regulatory validation. And over the last year, we've been working with unwell patients to extend the range, because as a kind of open study, Vision D only recruited a kind of normal distribution. So Vision Acute, we've been targeting people with very low blood pressure. So people that may be deteriorating in an ICU ward, patients with hypoxia, suffering COVID. So we're trying to extend the range of data points in our data set. We've also just kicked off a further 9,500 patient study, which is taking us to the next level in terms of camera control, getting better source signals, etc. So what's the market opportunity? This is the science that I've described around the capability. But the key markets and segments are remote patient monitoring and the various forms of that, for clinical trials, population health care, and population screening. And the route to market is to work with partners. So we don't want to create a new competing platform. There are some fantastic, excellent platforms addressing different vertical segments of monitoring. And so our purpose is to,
Lawrence, unfortunately, I have to cut you short. I'm really excited to hear so much about the company, but we just also want to be fair to all the other startups involved.
Absolutely, yeah.
Give them the right time. And as we have a very sharp timeline, unfortunately, I have to do that. But like I said previously, please feel free to continue exactly that conversation in our startup booths and also in our networking session that is just happening after the next startup. So I think, Lawrence, that's the best way how to continue the conversation. And like I said, we have 3 months to go and we will make some very memorable moments there. And of course, learn a lot more about Lifelight in the process. So thank you for being on board and welcome to the Startup Creasphere family.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Of course. So next up, we have a very unique company, a very exciting company that is leveraging the power of peer-to-peer networks. So what does a social network have to do maybe with fostering greater treatment adherence and also patient education? Our next company, Creasphere, will tell you all about it. So very excited to have them on board. So welcome, Jeff. And to the pitch and the virtual pitching room. We are very curious about learning how a peer-to-peer network can foster greater patient education and also mental support in the first place.
Awesome. Thank you for welcoming me to the stage, and thank you to Novo Nordisk and the Plug and Play community for introducing Creasphere to the broader audience. So my name is Jeff Wanzura. I'm the Chief Growth Officer at Creasphere, a pharmacist by trade, and as I describe, a digital health geek at heart. So we have two previous exits in the digital health space prior to joining Creasphere, and I'm excited to share you a little bit more about what we're doing at Creasphere to help enable the optimal patient experience by leveraging the power of private social networks within the life sciences sector. So as a quick foundational item, what we do at Creasphere and our core mission and vision is no patient alone. So as individuals are going through complex healthcare challenges upon a new diagnosis, a new treatment start, how can we provide them with the tools, the community, and the resources they need to make informed decisions around their health? So what we do is partner with organizations representing life sciences entities, patient advocacy associations, government, and as well as academic teaching hospitals to help them, again, build the technology infrastructure that allows them to offer peer-to-peer support to their patient population. Now, the platform is fully configurable to account for a wide variety of conditions with active deployments in rare and orphan conditions on one end of the spectrum, oncology, neurology, and again, cardiometabolic being another, which we're excited to share more about with the Novo Nordisk initiative. Now, again, a lot of people are asking, well, why is the right time for social to be embedded within the healthcare journey? And for us, what we saw in the marketplace is really two main themes. One is the fact that, again, digital health tools traditionally suffer from a low level of engagement and significant churn over a period of time. And at the same time, we saw a social platform start to gain more and more traction, which had a high engagement factor. So we said, how can we responsibly blend the two, build a platform that's specifically dedicated and configured for healthcare from the ground up, which essentially means privacy compliance, HIPAA, PIPEDA, and GDPR in Europe. In addition to, I'd say the biggest problem that we solved is doing this within the regulatory environment that the life sciences organizations and industry mandate. So properly monitoring and reporting adverse events, incidents of self-harm, off-label usage, and again, all sorts of different types of ways that we can flag and make this a safe and convenient place in which we can partner with global life sciences organizations. So we are venture-backed, and as you can see, we do have global reach with users over 100 countries, and we're available in 20 languages. And as you can see by the logos on the bottom, and again, I'll share more about our work with Novo Nordisk later on, but we are being trusted by, again, global multinational organizations to support their patient populations in a wide variety of therapeutic areas. So what we're hearing from our customers, again, is different types of ways in which they can extend and build a deeper relationship with patients. Now, through this, when you have a deeper understanding of what that patient relationship is, you have the ability to go from retrospective analysis into proactive intervention, in which this is on a very personalized and individualized basis on how to, again, get individuals back to making the most informed and educated decision about the next best action. And what we do is not only provide the framework in which insights can be driven, but also that tool in which you can communicate with patients in a regulatory and privacy compliant way. And I think throughout the course of the pandemic, everyone is starting to realize the ramifications and cascading effect that loneliness and isolation have on patient populations. And what we're starting to realize is that patients living with chronic conditions go through this type of isolation on a daily basis, not only during the course of the pandemic. And again, when you have that deeper understanding of the patient experience, you have more opportunity to intervene in a proactive and positive way. So what we do is go to market in two different ways with our customers. The first is an open sponsored community in which this is therapy agnostic and centered around a particular condition and therapeutic area. So this is typically, again, driven for new member acquisition, education, awareness, and activation of patients, whether or not they're on a specific therapy or not. The second way we go to market with our customers is more of a branded, what we describe as the digital companion to a therapy. So this is really to drive adherence, persistence to therapy, and education tools in which we can capture RWE in different types of ways that can, again, support other types of support functions that augment that therapy itself. Now, the platform itself, the easiest way to describe it is social is the fabric behind the scenes, and we break our platform into three main modules. So one is our peer-to-peer support, which is the social functionality which lives alongside everything that we do. The second is our content, education, and programming. And the third is our health trackers and research toolkit. So what we do, again, is allow a multifactorial type of approach in which this is designed for patients, caregivers, as well as, again, members of the care team in different types of ways that we can find individuals in the community who are going through similar challenges. So this is clinical, demographic, and psychographic information on allowing them to form very tight-knit support networks that drive authentic conversation centered around disease management behaviors. So this can be done in an anonymous way, which is highly important, especially for those conditions that have a high degree of stigmatism tied to it, and also embedding a community manager. So making sure, again, this is a safe, positive, and convenient place that patients and individuals can turn to. One thing that I will note is the concept of a peer mentor is something that has started to really catalyze itself over the last few months and the last few quarters, in which we can have someone share a lived experience after starting a therapy or navigating a new diagnosis or condition. And they might be further along than individuals who are just joining the community for the first time. And this is really, again, a way to provide support, group functionality, in which a high degree of engagement and persistence of use of the platform is going to allow for greater content personalization. So as we know, each patient journey is unique, and how can we build those patient profiles in which we can build educational tools and resources that are going to be reflective of the challenges that these individuals are going through. So based on the age, the diagnosis, comorbidities, concomitant medications, how can we start to, again, personalize and unlock the most relevant type of content that's going to impact their patient journey, not only from their profile, but also their actions within the community. So again, each individual is going to have a different type of content set, and this is comprised of a wide variety of different types of content. So in the most basic sense, this could be an article, it could be podcasts, videos, a series, programs related to a specific condition or therapy, and having full personalization on the type of health tools. So in the cardiometabolic space, we're going to provide patients with the ability to track some lifestyle factors like exercise, diet, stress, hydration, et cetera, but knowing that this is all configurable to the type of community and the type of organization that we're working with for that particular therapeutic area. Now, as you could imagine, with this high level of engagement, the high level of insights, we have the ability to draw quite a bit of, I'll call it actionable information, which can be reported out and de-identified in aggregate form. So we have the ability to intervene on a personalized basis, but report out on a de-identified and aggregate basis in compliance with our life sciences manufacturers. So think about this like a digital patient ad board that has a greater sample size and the ability to intervene, again, based on personalized type of outreaches. Now, lastly, I'll finish off with this, that our work with Novo Nordisk is centered around weight management. And again, the core drivers behind this is how do we provide that first touch point with the patient in which they can make more informed decisions in an anonymous, especially for a condition that still carries stigmatism and some type of barrier to access treatment and the pharmacotherapy options that might be available. So again, working with them closely over the next few months to see how we can better support this patient population as they navigate the cardiometabolic and weight management challenges. So thank you to everyone for the time, and looking forward to working with the Plug and Play community.
Thank you, Jeff. I can echo that. We are also happy to have you on board, and welcome to the startup Creasphere family. Also, I think it's great that you guys are working with Novo together to create a unique social network that is specifically catered to a specific disease group. I think that truly also helps the patients cope with any mental struggles, and like you said, with the challenge of isolation when it comes to handling a disease for yourself. So a very ambitious project, and we're looking forward to the next 3 months in stemming that. So that was it for Novo Nordisk startups for the Batch 6 program. I think we have a great selection here of 3 strong players, and of course a very strong partner to accompany them throughout the 3 months and create some memorable moments. Next up, we have another opportunity to network. Of course, we want to make the most of this virtual setting and come as close as possible to also the physical interactions. And for that, we thought of a very fun way of doing it by using a one-on-one speed dating tool. You will find that directly besides the main stage in the Meet Anywhere platform. And this tool allows you to be randomly allocated to any person in this event. So you will have the chance to meet exciting investors, exciting industry stakeholders, experts, and of course the startups themselves. And we strongly recommend and ask you to use it and mingle with the other people participating in this event. So thank you for listening in, and have a happy networking.